I asked 5 AI models to re-award the most controversial Ballon d'Ors. 5 AI models? 10 of the most controversial Ballon d'Or years in football history. Let's start with the one that split the room right down the middle. 2018. Let's start with one people still argue about today. Modric won the real Ballon d'Or after Croatia's World Cup run. But Ronaldo had just won the Champions League with Real Madrid. ChatGPT says Modric. Matching reality. Claude flips it to Ronaldo. Gemini also says Ronaldo. Grok brings it level. Modric. 2-2. This is genuinely the tightest one on the list right now. Last vote, DeepSeek. DeepSeek says Ronaldo. 3-2. So the AI panel actually disagrees with the real world here. The Champions League title, on top of everything Ronaldo had already built, edges out a World Cup final run without the trophy. That's a little surprising given how iconic Modric's tournament was, but 3 separate models landed on the same conclusion. 2003. Now here's a genuinely old-school debate. Nedved won it in real life after a phenomenal Juventus season. But a lot of people back then thought Thierry Henry deserved it more. ChatGPT goes Nedved, actual real-life winner. Claude flips it, Henry. Gemini also says Henry. And suddenly, the AIs are rewriting history. Grok brings it back, Nedved. Tied again right before the final reveal, DeepSeek decides it. DeepSeek says Henry. 3-2. So the AI panel actually overturns the real result here. And when you look at what Henry did that season for Arsenal, the goals, the assists, dragging that team almost single-handedly, I get it. This one genuinely surprised me. 2010, quick one. Wesley Sneijder had arguably the most complete trophy season of the decade. Treble with Inter, World Cup final with Netherlands, and somehow didn't even make the actual podium in real life. ChatGPT, Sneijder. Claude, Sneijder. Gemini, Sneijder. Grok, Sneijder. DeepSeek, Sneijder. 5-0, unanimous. No suspense here. And honestly, the AIS clearly think this is one of the biggest snubs in Ballon d'Or history. 2019, Messi versus Van Dijk. Liverpool won the Champions League. Van Dijk was arguably the best defender on the planet that year. Messi won the league, and the Pichichi with Barcelona. ChatGPT, Messi. Gemini, Messi. Grok, Messi. That's 3 straight, so this one's already decided. DeepSeek makes it 4, Messi. And then Claude breaks the streak and goes Van Dijk. Final score 4-1. Makes sense that Van Dijk got a vote. His season really was historic for a defender, but the panel clearly leans toward attacking output when trophies are close. 4-1, Messi. 2006, Barcelona fans still bring this one up. Ronaldinho was arguably the best player on the planet that year, but Fabio Cannavaro won the World Cup and was the defensive anchor of a legendary Italy side. ChatGPT opens with Ronaldinho, early shock, but then it's Cannavaro. Claude, Gemini, and Grok all fall in line immediately. 3-1, DeepSeek closes it out. Cannavaro, 4-1. That makes sense to me. A World Cup win from a centre-back is genuinely rare air, and 4 different models recognize that. Only ChatGPT stuck with the individual brilliance argument. 2015, back to something with 0 drama. Messi, at the peak of the treble-winning Barcelona side, with Suarez and Neymar either side of him. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, every single one says Messi. 5-0, not even a conversation. Moving on, 2021 Lewandowski's year. He basically broke Gerd Müller's Bundesliga scoring record and was untouchable in front of goal. ChatGPT, Lewandowski. Claude, Lewandowski. Gemini, Lewandowski. 3 straight, this one's already over. Grok makes it 4. Lewandowski. DeepSeek is the outlier here and goes with Messi instead. Final score, 4-1. No real surprise. The goal record alone justifies it. 2013. This is where it gets interesting again. Cristiano Ronaldo had an insane individual season, but Frank Ribery won literally everything with Bayern. ChatGPT goes with Ribery, Claude also picks Ribery, and this is looking like a wipeout. Then Grok breaks it up and goes Ronaldo. DeepSeek also says Ronaldo, genuinely tied heading into the last vote. Everything comes down to Gemini. Gemini picks Ribery. 3-2. So the AI panel actually agrees with history here. Ribery takes it, mainly because, you can't really argue with a treble. Ronaldo was brilliant, but team success at that level is hard to ignore. Honestly, closer than I expected going in. 2024. Now this one's fresh, and it's a real modern debate. Vinicius Jr. versus Rodri. ChatGPT opens with Vinicius. Claude also says Vinicius. Feels like this could be a runaway. Then it flips. Gemini says Rodri. Grok also goes Rodri. All square again. So it's on DeepSeek to decide the entire year. DeepSeek says Rodri. That's actually a bit surprising considering Vinicius led 2-0 early. But the case for Rodri makes sense once you think about it. A City side that basically didn't lose when he played. A genuine deep-lying midfield anchor. 2023. And now the finale. This is the one I was most curious about. Messi had just won the World Cup with Argentina. Haaland was putting up video game numbers in his first season at Man City, including the treble. ChatGPT opens with Messi. Claude answers with Haaland. Gemini says Messi. DeepSeek goes Haaland. Dead. Even, right before the last card flips. Everything rides on Grok. Grok says Messi, 3-2. And there it is. World Cup wins, at least in this panel's eyes, still carry more weight than a treble-winning scoring record. I honestly expected Haaland to sneak this one, especially after DeepSeek tied it up. But in the end, the World Cup argument won out 3 times out of 5. So that's 10 years, 5 AI models, and honestly more disagreement than I expected going in. Some years were basically unanimous. Others came down to a single vote at the very end. If you had to rerun just one of these yourself, which year would you flip? Drop it below. I read every single comment.